Okay, Algebra 1, 6-3, solving multi-step inequalities, and we don't have much vocabulary here. It's kind of the same. We're going to combine the things that we've been doing. This is page 369. Okay, so an inequality again has a less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. There's more than one answer in inequalities, so let's take a look at some two-step inequalities. This should look familiar to you guys. 3x minus 7 is less than 8. Usually we had an equals right there. Our job is to solve for the x. Remember, you say it out loud and you get rid of what's added or subtracted first. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 7 to both sides. Those cancel out. 3x is less than 15. Divide by 3. X is less than 5. So there's 5. X is less than 5. Boom, we're done. Sometimes inequalities are used more in real life because sometimes there's not an exact answer. It could be less than, or something could be greater than. So that's sometimes where inequalities come in. Okay, and there's our, they have a lot of checking here, don't they? I guess what they want you to do is pick a number that fits the inequality, your answer, and see if it works. Okay, solve this inequality. Now, one thing on this one is that you'll notice, and they've, for some reason, the PowerPoint is kind of weird. They're kind of a step ahead right here. This is the distributive property right here. So you have to take negative 0.6 times x, and two negatives here make a positive. 0.6 times 5 is 3, is less than or equal to 15. Then get the x by itself, so you'll get rid of the 3 first. So negative 0.6x is less than or equal to 12. Divide by negative 0.6. And remember, when you divide and we have inequalities, you flip the sign. And 0.6 into 12, over and up, that is going to be 20. And it's going to be negative 20. Oh, they have it all kind of backwards there. Sorry, I wrote all over that. So here we go. We're going to add 5 to both sides because I'm looking at the side with the letter. You get rid of what's added or subtracted. Cancel out. 2x is less than or equal to 28. Divide by 2. I did not divide by a negative, so I don't flip the sign. And then the graphing part is easy. Find the side with the letter. We'll get rid of the 5. Minus 5 first. Being careful of negatives. Don't flip the sign. I get a negative 21. Would you agree with that? Kind of weird. Divide by negative 6. Those cancel out. I flip the sign since I divided by a negative, and let's see, we'll divide those by 3. 7 halves, that's going to be 3 1/2. That reduces down to 7 halves, which is 3 1/2. And 2 negatives make a positive. And it's going the right direction. Oh. Okay, then we have the distributive property. So we take negative 1/4 p, this times this. This times this. 2 negatives make a positive. 1/4 of 12 is 3. Divide it by 4 when you take 1/4 of something. Then we get rid of the 3 first. Minus 3. So I get negative 1/4 p is greater than negative 5. Remember, to get rid of a fraction with the letter, you multiply by the reciprocal, which is negative 4 over 1. Since we multiplied by a negative, we flip the sign, and it comes out to be 20. So look at that problem. Man, that's got the distributive property. It has fractions. It has positives and negatives. It has solving equations. That's just about everything we've done. Just covered it. Oh, now check this one out. This is one that has variables on both sides. You remember these? Even when we had our equal sign. So our job, we want to move the numbers to one side and the letters to the other. So I'm going to move this 2x first. I usually move the smallest letter. So I get 4x minus 7 is greater than 17. Now I can add 7 to both sides. I get 4x is greater than 24. Divide by 4. X is greater than 6, and there was no flipping any signs or anything. I always want the x on the left-hand side, as it's usually the way that we read inequalities and understand them. And then somewhere there's the graph. There it is. So wait, that way I don't have to make it. So notice on this one, before we can do anything, we have to do the distributive property over here on this side. I can find my pin. So this times this times this. So I got 14x plus 5 is less than 14x minus 21. It says, if possible, oh, look at what's going to happen here, guys. That 14 x's are going to cancel out. I'm going to get 5 is less than negative 21. In this problem, 5 is not less than 21. It's not possible to solve, or negative 21, excuse me. And so then we would say no, because 5 is not less than negative 21. It's greater than negative 21. So we would say this is not possible. So we'll try this one. 12x minus 1 is greater than 12x minus 6. Minus 12, get all the x's on one side, but look what happens when I try to do that. Negative 1 is greater than negative 6, but in this case, that is true. Negative 1 is greater than negative 6. Okay, so that one's good. This one, again, we're going to move, I'm going to go minus 3x. Minus 3x, I get 2x minus 12 is less than or equal to negative 4. Remember to bring that negative down. So minus. I'm going to add 12, that's 8. Divide by 2, x is less than or equal to 4. No flipping of the sign because we didn't do any multiplying or dividing by a negative. Distributive property 5m plus 25 is less than 5m plus 17. Well, right away I see what's going to happen with my m's. They're going to cancel out. 25 is less than 17. No. So it's not possible. No solution. So 1 minus 8s is less than or equal to negative 8s plus 4. Add 8s, add 8s. Those cancel out. 1 is less than or equal to 4. Yes, it is. So that one is possible. And it's all the numbers. What's that graph look like? 1 to 4? That's a weird graph. They don't have negatives on that graph. Maybe they just didn't do anything to it. Okay, solve the inequality if possible. Graph your solution. Oh, I already did those. We did those already. Okay, sorry. Duplicates. Let me go through that. I wonder why that was so long. Okay, example number 5. It says car wash. Use the sign shown. A gas station charges $10 less per gallon of gasoline if a customer also gets a car wash. What are the two possible amounts in gallons of gasoline that you can buy if you get a car wash and can spend at most $20? So you can get it's $2.09 per gallon. We don't know how many gallons you're going to get. Plus a car wash at $8 has to be less than or equal to 20. So let's find out how much money we can spend. Take off the 8. Less than or equal to 12. Divide by 2.09. So 2.09 into 12. Weesh. It's not going to be very fun, is it? You guys have a calculator? I'm gonna look. It comes out to be 6.03 something something something. So just a little over 6 gallons of gas is what you could get and still get a car wash. Oh, wait a minute. You get a save $10. Ooh, that's a mistake I made. See that? I messed up. This shouldn't be. You get 10 cents less per gallon if you buy the car wash. Oh, shoot. I fell for that. That's like that one earlier in the last chapter on the months. Remember that one? It's. Ugh. I hate that when I make a mistake. Sorry, my fault. So I set my equation up wrong. Do you guys see that? I should have used $1.99 plus 8 because you get to save 10 cents. Ooh. And this comes up to be a little over 6. That's where it was. I was trying to cheat and use their answer, and I had the wrong work. All right, so example number 7. Or guided practice. What if, suppose a car wash costs $9 and gas is regularly $2.19 per gallon. What are the possible amounts? Okay, so you get, I'm going to remember this time, you save 10 cents, so you can have $2.09 plus your $9 is to be less than or equal to 20. Minus 9 is 11. 209, that's supposed to have an X there. Divide by 209. Okay, I'm going to do that. Let me see, I have a calculator right here. So 11 divided by 209. You could get about comes out about 5.26 gallons of gas. A little over 5. 5.02. 5.02. 5.26. I don't know. We're close. Over 5. Little over 5. You're saving money for a summer camp that cost $1,800. You've saved $500 so far, and you have 14 more weeks to save a total amount. What are the possible average amounts? So you got 14 weeks to save an unknown amount, plus you already have $500, and you got to have greater than or equal to $1,800. Okay, so I'm going to minus 500. So you got to save, in those 14 weeks, you've got to save $1,300. So again, I'm going to go to my calculator. That's divided by 14. You got to save about $92.86 a month. $92.86. Ooh, I finally got one right. All right, so you're solving those inequalities, showing your work on both sides, just some multi-step stuff now. Ask if you have any questions, and that's it.